If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are who made the guess or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. That's all there is to it.
Cut that car off at a stoplight.
Yeah, because one of the biggest they were talking about with those EMP attacks and all that stuff is the threat of and how they've come to the realization that our grid system is so shitty. Like, I'm not sure if people know, like, if there was an EMP attack of that standard, that magnitude of better yet, like, our system would be shot to shit. And it's not even because the attack is that good. It's because our grid system is, like, it's set up in three sections instead of the dozens it should be.
Oh, let's see. Also,
back in the 90s, we had an EMP attack up here in Canada. It took out a whole province. 7 million people were up.
An EMP attack can also be a coronal mass ejection.
Yep.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
in the 80s or something.
So I just use the term EMP attack, meaning something that's attacking the system via nature or man-made.
Yeah,
it means the same thing.
Was it a CME or was it
it's a CME, but it does the same thing.
It was a coronal mass ejection.
Oh, really? I'm hearing about the power supply in Canada somewhere going out. Where was it?
That was a CME, but it's essentially the same thing except for the difference in terms or because of where it came from. Like, you're correct, yeah, it came from the sun, and the term you used is what it is, but in that situation of explaining an EMP and what it can do, it's the same thing.
That's why when you guys are stuck and your cars don't run from that attack, I'll quite happy be getting the fuck out of Dodge on my shovel.
But a CME is charged particles. I don't think it's necessarily electrical surge, is it? I don't know.
It creates one.
Well, the thing is our electrical grid, for example. Okay, do you know how transformers work?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, how about generators?
Yeah, I understand generators.
Okay, the three things for a generator are an electrical conductor, a magnetic field, and then relative motion between those two.
Right. Yeah.
As long as those three conditions are met, as long as you got a conductor cutting through that magnetic field due to relative motion, you're going to induce an electrical current in that wire.
Yep.
Okay. So when you've got all these electrical particles, electrically charged particles bombarding the atmosphere, it can induce electrical currents in our electrical grid system.
Yep.
So shuts everything down.
So it can either cause lags or surges.
Or it could blow a whole electrical grid.
Yeah, like basically, these are actually the actual way the grids are set up in different cities. Like, the way they're supposed to be set up, there's supposed to be more junctions in here with surge protectors, so to speak. Whereas they don't, and that's the problem with the grid system. Not to mention, most of these cities are all connected to each other rather than linked to each other.
Yep.
That's the problem with the grid system.
CME is an EMP, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's from the sun. Whereas an EMP is more thought of as a weapon or as, more man-made. That's the only difference between the terminology of it, but they do the same thing.
Well, you can detonate a nuclear weapon
that
like 10 miles or so off the ground, and it'll create an EMP.
Okay, that's the whole idea of the EMP attack. It's called a HEMP, HEMP, and the idea that's what we were worried about Korea doing, or North Korea. I'm sorry, because the idea is it takes a lot more to make a nuclear weapon with nuclear capability than it is to just put a little bit of nuclear capability and make a large EMP attack. The warhead, everything about the projectile is cheaper and easier for an EMP attack.
Yep.
Have you guys seen the video on this scientist? He was one of the original creators of of nuclear reactors. He claims he was bathing in the water, and you see him eating the radioactive
uranium
material. Have you guys ever seen that?
I've never seen him bathing in it, but I do know for a fact the amount of uranium he was taking and the what do you call it, the time it takes for your body to basically cleanse itself of it, he wasn't taking very much. And I'm pretty sure that guy's dead because of.
Yeah. No. He had a Geiger counter and all. He was.
But it's already.
You gotta see this.
But the thing is, it's gonna, dude, an orange, a banana, they have radiate. One of those Geiger counters will go off one of those things as well.
On an orange.
Yeah, everything has some kind of a radiation in it. It's just the way life works. We may not have very much, but it's there.
Have you seen what I'm talking about? Have you seen the
I haven't seen him bathe in it, but I have seen the ones where he's putting it in his hand and he licks it out of his hand and shit.
he puts it, he licks it.
Here's something that'll blow your minds. Here's something that'll twist your brain up in a knot. Any alcohol for consumption that's sold in the United States must by law be radioactive.
Yep.
What does that mean?
It's how they alcohol content.
Okay.
Huh?
I told you, it'll twist your brain in a knot.
Wait, why does it have to be
How so?
radioactive?
Depending on the source of the alcohol, it can either be radioactive or not. Plant-based alcohol sources are radioactive.
Because they have because the natural radiation that anything has basically is still measured.
Correct. Yep.
Oh, the natural. Okay, I see.
Yeah, yeah. So instead of not equating it into the percentage ratage, it tells you what its source is, the amount of radiation in its source.
Well, the thing is, it's illegal to sell, say petroleum-based alcohol for consumption, just for health concerns. So by making it illegal, then that's saying, what you can sell must be radioactive. So it's not directly saying, it's got to be radioactive or else you can't sell it. It's just saying you can't sell the stuff that wouldn't be radioactive because it's not plant-based.
I see. Ooh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yep. Carbon-14, baby.